Mr. Sandman, tell me a dream, make it the... What is the words?
I don't know. I don't know why you chose that song.
Because it reminds me of Norma and my cat.
Hi.
Episode 6. Welcome to Yapville.
We're here. Wait, is it 6? That was 7.
No, it's 6.
No, it's 6.
This is Taryn.
This is Amanda.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yep, we're thriving. In episode 6, we're real podcasters.
I went back to the gym like 2 weeks ago, and it was a little nerve-wracking walking in as a famous podcaster. Like, I knew all eyes were on me.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, do they know I'm a famous podcaster?
Yeah, like pumping gas and stuff. Like, it's a little bit scary being an influencer in the wild.
Oh my god, it's terrifying. I'm scared for my life. My 150 Instagram followers.
And our like 20 Instagram followers for the podcast. Hey guys, we're doing this for you.
Yes. I love every single 20 of you. I'm going to kiss you all on the foreheads.
So, we do have a special guest today. Our first guest. Unfortunately, she only can say one word. And she's half asleep, but her name's Lottie. And I really wish... Oh, and she's my cat. I really wish we were doing video so you guys could...
Oh, she's so precious. She's must be a Leo because she's like so beautiful and she knows it.
I think that they're Aries.
Oh, well.
They're, as in she has a sister.
Is your cat non-binary?
So yeah, this week we're just gonna read some Reddit stories. I feel like we should start doing 2 to 3 Reddit stories each, and then the end leave off with a spooky story.
Love that.
So,
Taryn has a scary story that she was saving.
Yes, I have a scary story. I'll talk about it, but once we have one of my best friends on here, Alyssa, once we have her on as a guest, she's gonna have to talk about it again. But this is insane. So let me start with what happened like a couple years ago. So I had a cat named Louie. I mean, I'm sure everyone listening knows who Louie is, but he was my soul cat, my baby, love of my life. I'll never love anything on this planet as much as I loved him. So he passed away. He was 12. He had cancer. He passed away at the beginning of 2023. And my old job, I worked in a warehouse, and I think about 75% of the day I would sit in the bathroom on my phone because I hated my life, and you weren't allowed to have your phone. Until I got ballsy and actually took my phone out on the floor and just didn't care. I was like, fire me. But now I'm at a job where I'm happy at. I was in the bathroom just sending her pictures on Instagram, being a silly, goofy girl. And she really doesn't check Instagram that often. But she was like looking at my pictures for some reason. And this was after Louie passed away. And she was looking at my pictures. And my boyfriend and I had moved into our house by then, which we moved into our house before Louie passed away. And there was a video, her last video on the list of videos I sent her was a video of me and Louie in my apartment. So it was like 40 weeks old, I think it said. So that was weird. She was like, did you send me a video of Louie? I was like, no. She's like, I had one and it said it was like 40 weeks old. And then that happened again like a year later. Same thing, like I had sent her a bunch of pictures because I'm obnoxious, and then there was a picture or a video of Louie that was like probably 100 weeks old at that point. Then today, same friend Alyssa texts me this morning and goes, what is your uncle's name? And she was like, is your uncle John last name? I won't dox my uncle who's not alive. And I was like, that's his name. She's like, I just got like a friend request with somebody from that name and you're the mutual friend. And I was like, oh, let me go look. And I went and looked and it was my uncle. There's nobody else I'm friends with that same exact name. So basically, Alyssa, and it said 8 hours ago, got a friend request from my dead uncle.
That's so weird.
So weird.
Why are you and Alyssa like crazy things happen between the two of you?
I don't know, but like
there's like this weird spiritual connection between you guys.
Of course. We've been best friends since we were like in the womb, basically. Not really. We were like 11. But so I was like, maybe he's trying to tell us something from the other side. And that's just, imagine he died like 10 years ago. Does anyone have
access to his Facebook?
So his girlfriend he was with at the time.
Why would she be adding people on his Facebook?
She's dead. Yeah. So she died a few years after him. So the only person I could think about maybe having it is my Nana.
But still, why would she be adding people?
I don't think she would, and I don't think she has access to his Facebook. So, yeah, that's really creepy. And then, of course, I talked to my boyfriend Colin about it, and he's just like, oh, it probably got hacked. I was like, I'm gonna go with it's spooky.
It's spooky. That's weird.
But then I was with one of my friends earlier. We went for a walk, and I was like, imagine if, like, it did get hacked, and all of a sudden you start seeing these things like, John helped me buy this NFT, and I made $300,000 off of it. But yeah, I thought that was pretty fucking spooky. Yeah, there's literally no explanation unless he got hacked. I'll give you guys updates to see if it was a hacking.
That's spooky.
Yeah, it is really weird. I was just like, what?
At least it's like sweet. Like it's like your uncle and Louie. It's like people you love.
But I was like, maybe because he's friends with all of us on Facebook, it's like him from the other side. Like, I gotta add somebody close to them. I don't know. It probably is someone hacking, but I like to think of it paranormal. Yeah, so that's my spooky story.
That's crazy.
What else happened this week? Oh, I'm so bad at this. I ended up taking Thursday night off my part-time job because my cats were playing with a Tylenol pill, and that accidentally fell on the floor, and they got a hold of, and I thought they were going to die, and I was freaking out. But long story short, they're all alive. Everybody's fine. Nobody died. But FYI, I didn't know this. Not that I leave medicine on my floor ever. If you know me, you know I'm paranoid as fuck. Cat mom, helicopter mom. And it fell on the floor by accident. And then I found out Tylenol is like lethal to cats. So that was really scary, and I cried a lot. Scary. But I called out of my part-time job so I could monitor them throughout the night. And I mean, they weren't acting any different. They're fine now. It's been like 3 days. But I had a Thursday night off for the first time since May. And I organized my office. I organized my bedroom. I got so much shit done. So
nice.
Really nice. And I can't wait till Monday. I don't need to have a part-time job. How was your week?
Oh my God. So mine, I didn't do much during the week, but my tire debacle. So last week I was complaining about my tire situation. So this week I did fucking investigating, bitch. Like I was the fucking detective. I wanted to figure out what the model of my car was. Like I know it's a Ford Focus, but I know it's something else too. And I couldn't figure it out. So I had it filtered on Walmart as a Ford Focus ST, which is a fucking hatchback. So I'm like, oh, that's why the tires didn't fit. So I'm trying to figure it out. And Edwin has my car that day. I let him use it for a job thing. And on my lunch break, I go on my DMV, I log in, I get my VIN number through my DMV. So then I search my VIN number on like a car lookup place, and it told me my model. So I was like, cool, it's a Ford Focus SE. Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool. I can totally buy the right tires now. I don't know how I still managed to fuck it up. I put all the right filters in, schedule my appointment, do all of it. It's the wrong fucking size again.
How?
Because
maybe it's resetting or something.
There's two different types of sizes that'll fit. So I took a picture of my sticker that like that's on your door that has like your tire sizes. I purchased the tires, and then I don't know why I wouldn't look at the sticker before I purchased them, but then I was like, let me just double check. And I looked at the picture of the sticker, and I was like, oh my fucking God, I did it again. So I canceled it, but I'm still waiting for my fucking refund. They were cheaper. It was only $140 this time. Oh. There was 60% off Black Friday. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'm still waiting for my refund. Walmart probably thinks I'm like fucking running a tire stealing. Yeah. So that's annoying. And yesterday, me and Edwin did yard work all day.
Oh, that's great.
We went to Home Depot first, and I got 3 lawn bags, like 3 packages of lawn bags. We bagged 15 lawn bags full of leaves, and there's still a giant pile in my yard. But I also borrowed my mom's leaf blower.
Ooh, we have one too you could have borrowed.
My driveway has never looked this nice since I purchased the house. Like, that's so funny. It looks, I could eat something off of it because all the dirt was moved. You should have seen this shit when we turned the leaf blower on. It literally looked like it was on fire. Like the house was on fire because there was just dirt everywhere.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. But yeah, my front yard looks pretty decent. I mean, There was weeds growing out of it and shit. It's really hard when you're a homeowner and like you live with someone else and you kind of expect them to like also help you, and they stop caring, and then like I stopped caring because they stopped caring, so then the house just went to fucking shit. So we're slowly trying to get it back to like looking cute. I'm excited for the spring to like plant shit and like plant flowers again. And
you have that nice space in front too.
Yeah,
like that garden bed.
That's what we had pulled out all the weeds from there. It was insane. It's just dirt right now, literally. There's like a shrub in there. But that's my adult
There's actually
life.
a place around here you can get really cheap mulch, but I'll tell you about that not in the podcast.
We also watched the fight on Friday.
Yeah, I was there. We watched the fight.
It was honk shoe.
Yeah.
Me.
Well, first of all, that Amanda Serrano girl should have won.
Yeah, the girls were way better than. Well, first of all, we couldn't even watch it. It was like watching a fucking PowerPoint slideshow because Netflix kept buffering, so we would pull it up on our phones and try finding someone on like TikTok Live that was streaming it.
So Amanda and I came across a TikTok Live, and somebody was streaming it, and they were making like everyone was like sending them roses and stuff.
They had like 52,000 viewers.
Yeah, that's nuts. So I went on TikTok Live and I started filming the TV and was like, maybe someone will send me a gift. I didn't get any gifts.
We got like 92 viewers though in that like short. You were only streaming for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I streamed it like the very end.
It was boring. It was bad. I just wanted to see. I don't care about fighting. I don't care about any of that shit. But I did want to see Jake Paul get knocked out, and he did not, and I was sad.
Yeah, that was just a cash grab.
Yeah, they're making millions. They don't care either way.
Yeah, they don't care.
It was disappointing. So now my fucking hand from where I was shoveling, like holding the shovel hurts. I mean, not shoveling, what? Raking. It hurts so bad. Yeah, anyway.
I don't get any leaves in my 1 foot yard, so.
Well, I feel bad because my neighborhood, my house is like the only house with like a giant fucking tree. So all the leaves all in the neighborhood are from me. And then my neighbor was pulling in the driveway last night when we were raking. He was like, keep those leaves out of my lawn.
Was he joking?
He was, I think. But I was like, bro, I'm trying. That's what I'm currently doing, babe.
Babe.
So annoying. And then, of course, the boomers have to walk by and be like, I'm like, hi, how are you? And they're like, oh, raking those leaves. Yeah, that's why I didn't want a tree in my yard. And just, I don't fucking care, bro.
Well, you want to know what? It's pretty and, oh my God, my cat.
Keep it pushing, Jim. Keep it fucking pushing. I don't care.
Jim. Keep going on your little walk for your cardiovascular exercise. All right, so let's get into this week's stories. Once again, we don't have a topic, but this is how we're going to roll for a little bit, guys.
Yeah, because we're busy girls. AKA, I just play video games in my free time.
AKA, why does it matter? Why do we need a topic?
That's true.
So are you going first this week, or am I?
Did you go first last week?
I can't.
I think you did. You did.
Okay, your turn, baby.
Okay, my turn, baby. Let's do my parents were stalking me because God told them.
Oh my God.
Ow. I just threw my phone on my face. I'm going to start this week with a juicer. It's from Best of Redditor Updates. It's originally posted in Entitled Parents.
Oh my God, we're going to have to follow that subreddit too.
I know you'd love that one. Hi, I am a 24-year-old female and I live on my own out of my parents' house. I have a bit of a situationship going on with my friend. We will call him David, 24 male. We had a fling a few months ago and it's kind of happening again. It started out just hanging out and enjoying David's company and it slowly turned into more again. The thing is, my parents knew about the first fling. David used to be inseparable from my dad. They were like father and son in a way, until David and I had our fling. Now my dad is trying to control him, telling him he is have no contact with me outside of a group chat we are all in. We think this is stupid. A few weeks ago, we were hanging out and we went to Five and Below to get snacks and just hang out. While we were there, my parents walked in. They don't live in the same city as me. I live about 20 minutes away from them, and they just randomly showed up at the store right by my house. They claimed it was to find batteries. At that point, my dad confronted David and said that he told him not to be around me, and he told him he isn't going to care anymore and not to come crying to him when I get heartbroken. My mom texted me later saying it was totally the Holy Spirit revealing that something was happening so they can intervene. I'm kind of glad that that happened because after David and I left, that opened up a conversation about what's going on between us. We both enjoy our company and we both have feelings for each other, but we were taking it slow. While we were talking, my dad is texting me a 3-page essay on why I'm stupid for not doing as he says, and that he is no longer invested. He told me David only wants me for one thing and doesn't care about me as much as he does. Ew, that's fucking weird.
Gross.
Yeah. And if David is in love with me, he'd ask for permission to date his daughter and play by his rules. Anyways, we decided to continue hanging out, and especially since my dad said he no longer cares. We both have annual passes to Disneyland, so we decided to go together after work. Who decides to go to Disneyland after work?
Dude, people who have annual passes. Who have annual passes go like every day. I follow this couple. I don't actually follow them, but I don't know. They kind of look like they don't shower, but they're always at Disney World and they're always buying like merch from Disney World.
That's crazy. That's like hundreds of dollars.
Yes.
But
and they're always on cruises and shit too. Anyways.
I'm saying after work though. I feel like that's like a plan. Like, oh, let's go to Disney after work.
People do.
That's crazy. My I'm not spontaneous. I need everything planned. While we were there, my mom and dad texted me asking if I was at Disneyland. I ignored their text. We were there till closing, and as we were walking out, my dad walked up to us with a Starbucks bag and asked to talk. David kept walking and said no. And of course, me wanting to keep the peace, begged David to do. And he said no. I told him I'm his ride, and he said he'd just get an Uber, and I told him no. So I just left my parents there and left. I cried in the car, and David told me it's not my fault. While I was in the car, I texted my mom how she knew I was there, and she said God is watching. I asked again how she knew, and she said she'd meet me at my house and tell me, and I said no. You will not meet me at my house. That's weird, Mom. How do you know I was at Disneyland? She stopped messaging me, and then my dad messaged me this.
Sounds like God is a tracking device.
Her dad texted her, if you want to know how we knew you were there, you can talk to us in person. We brought peace, and we tried to be loving, even though I knew David was doing stuff that he said he wouldn't do. I just wanted to care for you as much as I do and your mother does, but you're going to find out, honey, and it's really sad. He had every opportunity right there to confess his love for you and ask us for space. We could have had a good discussion, but instead he was a coward and ran away. Okay, what if he doesn't love her? Like, it sounds like they were just like in a fling. Like,
these parents are crazy.
From here on out, you are not to come to my home. We can meet in public to talk about how you knew we were at Disneyland because we had every intention of telling you, and that was going to be part of the conversation. I've never lied to you, and I never will. I do not have anything to hide.
I'm very interested on what the heck they want to talk to her about.
I know. Probably about Jesus. That conversation would have been great to have if we're willing to have it, but David sadly is not. I did nothing to him, and I deserve the treatment that I got from him. And I've never treated him any other way I would treat a good son. I hope and pray that he doesn't do what I know he's doing, what he's going to do. Wolves come into the sheep, and they separate the sheep from the flock. And then they devour the sheep. But the good shepherd will protect you. And if David... God damn it. If David ever was a sheep, he will listen to the voice of God, the people that loved him and cherished him. I love you, and I wish nothing but the best for you. If you want to talk, we're willing to talk to you about anything else you want to know. This was the text message between her dad. So she responded with, Dad, I don't expect him to be in love with me. It's way too soon. If you don't want to hide the truth, just explain how you knew I was there. I will not be meeting you in person for a conversation that can be had over a text. He responded with, then don't respond to me. That is how it's going to come out because you need to see my demeanor and everything. And shame on you guys for trying to point the finger back at us. You guys are the ones that are not doing right in hiding. Literally every box that was checked for you to like David was erased by David. All the things that you liked about him are now gone, and it was by David's own hand. From now on, you do whatever you want. I'm cutting this pain off. I mean it. Don't come to my house because we will not be able to support your drama any longer. You're going to have to learn the hard way again. The only difference is now your mother and I are numb and we won't feel anything. God will show you the truth, but I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt in the process. And now this is OP typing again. I don't care if I don't meet with them or not. I can't handle this helicopter parenting anymore. And I feel that anytime I have ever brought a boy around, my dad has to place himself in the middle, forcing the guy out. The guys that have been okay with this in the past end up not working out because of fear that if my dad can control him now, my whole future will still be controlled by him. If I don't do it their way, then I'm doing it wrong. I really like David and he likes me. I'm 24 years old, and for once, I have a guy that doesn't run away from me because of my crazily super involved parents. I don't know what to do. What I'm concerned about is my parents followed me there and just why. I don't know what to do. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Thank you for reading as much as you did. Please, any suggestions would help.
Okay, so I feel like it's missing a little bit of context. Like, why do they hate this David guy? Wasn't he like helping the dad with something? It said in the beginning.
No, it said in the beginning that the dad saw him like a son, and they like were inseparable.
So maybe the dad feels like he doesn't have enough for his daughter, but at the end of the day, it's not the dad's choice, and it's the daughter's choice, and you're just pushing your daughter away, clearly.
It did say it was an on again, off again fling. So like they were a fling before, and then it stopped, and then they're doing it again. So maybe she was sad about it, and now they're like, don't do this again.
But why are they stalking her?
That's crazy. It says...
And she's also like 24, clearly doesn't live at home, doesn't have to follow their rules.
So some comments said, check your car for a tracking device. If they have keys to your place, change the locks. There's something very wrong with them. OP said this happened all last night, so I'm going to be spending the day looking for anything like that. They don't have keys to my place.
If you do have like a tracker on your car, like a AirTag, won't your phone tell you if you have an iPhone?
I don't know. Would it?
Because my phone one time told me I was near an AirTag at my old job.
Weird.
I think one of my coworkers just like had one, but it was really creepy.
It says there is a tracking device somewhere on one of you. Do they not want you to ever have any relationship, or they just force you into one of their choosing? And then OP said, mainly it's my dad about the relationship thing. He wants it to be heavily chaperoned. Like his way, he wants it. The first 3 dates are double dates with my parents. Oh my God.
Oh, you gotta cut these people out of your life, honey.
He tries to enforce no kissing. He gets very personal with the guy, asking him questions like if he's still a virgin or not, and asking what his intentions are with me. Oh. He will basically tell the guy what to do in the relationship, and if the guy doesn't, then he's a coward and isn't good enough for me. I let my dad have it this way once, and the guy at the time was really nice. After we got the green light to date, I realized, wow, I don't like this guy. I wanted to end it, but I felt bad. For years after I ended it, and my dad would tell me I needed to bite the bullet and settle with this guy. My dad said he liked him because he respected him. No, he liked that guy because he can control him and in turn me. If I don't do it this way, I'm called horrible names, cut off, but not really because he can't control me if he cuts me off. It's a thing I've dealt with my whole life. This is sad.
Yeah, that is... I got chills in, like, an uncomfortable way. Like, that is so creepy. Going on double dates with your parents.
Yeah, that's...
Like, she's not allowed to think for herself?
So there is some edits. On the same day, OP edited the post and said, thank you for everyone who gave me advice and suggestions. I decided I'm going to let myself settle for a few days. I'm going to agree and hear my parents out just to know how they got my location. As controlling they are, I still love them, and I can say that with certainty that they have always been honest. My dad said that he will tell me how they found out if I go in person. I'm going to give myself a few days to get my own nerves and emotions down. I'll update when that happens.
I think they're going to lock her in the basement.
It sounds like it. So then she edited again and said, I texted my dad and told him I'd be willing to talk in the next few days. He told me that I need to find a new phone provider because this is the last bill that she has connected with her parents. They pay from their account, blah, blah.
Her tracking, is her shared location on and she doesn't realize it?
She said, I think that cancels out them tracking me via phone provider, especially now since this is another attempt to control by using fear of cutting my service off. I could easily get my own. I looked for any AirTags and I couldn't find any. He still refuses to tell me he tracked me unless I meet him and my mother and our pastor at the church.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She needs the last rule of the dentist system. Separate entirely.
Yeah. There's an update. So it says, I met with them today. My pastor and his wife had my back 100%. Good.
Awesome.
My dad told me that they found me. I guess I was sharing my location with him on my phone through messages. He said God revealed that he still had my location.
Why is he lying about God? Like godly men or...
Like Jesus was the iPhone that said check her location. My parents then drove to my house to see if my car was there, saw David's car was there. We carpooled to Disney and then waited outside of Disney till we left. That is fucking crazy.
Let this girl learn and make her own mistakes, or it sounds like she's got her head screwed on right. I think she needs to cut off the toxic parents.
But she's like, I love them.
Yeah, I cannot relate.
She said, I told them that's freaking weird and it makes me uncomfortable. And they said they did it out of love because they were concerned.
That's not love. They're confused.
That's controlling. Basically, my pastor and his wife are 100% behind my back regarding dating who I want and not letting my parents decide. I should have the opportunity to decide if I like the guy first, one-on-one, and then bring him to my parents. Right, like normal people. Mm-hmm. It's a little different because we have all known David for years, but still it's my right to decide when my parents will be involved.
If they trust her, or what am I trying to say? If they love her, they need to trust her.
I don't think they love her. I think they want to control her, or the dad at least. The
mother's
probably just being controlled, so she's just along.
Yeah, along for the ride.
My dad did not like this. He said he'd leave the church and block me on all social medias. Imagine your father saying that to you. I'm blocking you.
I mean, my mama said worse, but
yeah. I know.
But I cut her off.
He said he can't stand around and wait for my heart to get broken, and the whole time he was trashing on David. He called him a few names that were extremely hurtful. I was glad to see my pastor have my back. I told him I'm no longer under his roof and I'm not doing anything wrong. The conversation ended with my dad claiming he wants to go no contact, which I'm sure he won't follow through on. It sucks. I love my parents, but in my dad's eyes, if he can't have control over this aspect, I don't get him at all. And that's probably how it's going to be for a while. Thank you guys.
That's so sad. I'm sorry, OP, that your parents suck. It sucks that she doesn't have anyone on her side. I mean, the pastor? But like parent-wise.
So one of the top comments is when the pastor even thinks you're out of line.
And like, he seems to be like a man of God and he's not agreeing with the pastor, which I feel like he's a Delulu daddy.
Oh, for sure, Delulu daddy. That doesn't really seem like, I mean, I'm not a parent and I never will be, but it just doesn't seem like people should have kids that aren't capable of being parents. Like that's not a parent. That's just someone who wants to, seems like the father just seems like he wants to control everything around him all the time. So let's have a kid so we can shape them into this person I want them to be and date who I want them to date and go on double dates with them.
He's probably one of those dads that, like, I don't know if they did a gender reveal, but the dad that, like, flips out when they find out they're having a girl and not a boy.
Yeah, for sure. That's gross. The waiting outside of Disneyland.
Wanting to know if your daughter's dates are virgins. Like, that's so...
Can you imagine, like, hey, what's your name? What do you do for a living? Are you a virgin?
What's your social security number? Your weight?
Are you a virgin?
Are you a virgin?
I understand that, like, the protective dads, which I think is kind of weird. The, like, what's your intentions of my daughter? Like,
maybe, like, I feel like because didn't grow up in the South.
I guess, maybe, but, like, I think it's weird. Also, relationships. Have you ever seen those relationships where, like, the parents clearly want to fuck their kids?
Oh, yeah.
Like mothers and sons.
Yeah.
Girl, it's fucking weird. And I feel like it's the same thing with fathers and daughters. Like, my baby girl, no one's going to be ever as good as her. What are your intentions with my daughter?
Are you
going to fuck her?
What are your intentions with my daughter?
Are you going to fuck my daughter?
Because if you're going to peruse with my daughter, I'm going to need 5 low payment installments of $9,999. And then you can have permission to fondle my daughter. Ew. All right. No, that's gross. Yeah, your parents are whack. Cut them off. That's my advice.
No, I think she does need to cut them off. If, like, you can't have a conversation with them being like, listen, it sounds like you've said multiple times, like, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want. Like, the dad's just not getting it. And the mom just...
No respect.
The mom just doesn't seem... She's just probably...
Your dad's
sure, honey.
Your dad's a control freak. He's an asshole. He has no respect for you. He doesn't trust you.
And the mom probably disagrees with everything, so she doesn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, literally. Okay. Moving on to the next story. Let me get cozy. I can't read if I'm not cozy. This next story is coming from Relationship Advice. It was posted 5 days ago.
I love relationship advice.
Okay, the title is My 35 Male Mother, 58 Females New Fiance Wants Me to Call Him Dad. He's 24. How do I navigate this? Please buckle in because this is all so weird. I'm a 35-year-old man, and for some backstory, my dad died when I was 19. Leaving my mom and me with my 2 siblings, I'm the oldest. It took some time, but eventually my mom started dating again. We don't live together per se, but our houses back into each other and we have a gate, so it's pretty common for her to offer to do my laundry or me to just go over for dinner or go look after our dog, that kind of stuff. Plus, me and my siblings go over there for dinner every Friday night or so. A bit after she started, the men she's been dating have been getting younger and younger, and I've never had a problem with them. She's been very open to me and my siblings that she wants to get married again, and we've always been supportive. At least after the initial shocks, lol. The latest guy is by far the most serious, and they've been dating since around last June, ? He proposed at the start of autumn, and they want to get married next summer. Again, me and my siblings are fine with this because it's her life and we trust him. He's a nice guy and they clearly love each other. But anyway, ... So long story short, this weekend, her fiance, let's call him Phil, calls me and asks if I could come over. I say, yeah, sure, I'll be over after work, and I assume that he has just needed some help with some DIY stuff they're doing. When I get over there, he calls me Sport, and...
Sport, like the same age.
He's 10 years younger. He calls me Sport and says we need to talk. I should mention that this is something he does to me and my little brother, calling us like kid, sport, scout, little buddy, or my personal favorite, calling us red and blue, seemingly out of nowhere. My brother is 30, by the way. He tried it with my sister, 28, too, once called her princess. But weird. He stopped when she started just staring at him. Girl. So the thing with Phil is that he reminds me a lot of Charlie Day's character in Horrible Bosses.
Love that. I love that movie.
And that his sole ambition has always been to meet a girl, get married, and have a family. When he told me and my brother about this, my brother made some joke about how our mom's going to come up short on that last part, and he got very upset, but they made up afterwards. Anyway, so I go around and I ask if my mom's around, and he says no, just him, and that we really need to talk man to man. I say sure, and he starts talking to me about now he's always wanted to be a father, etc., and raise a son to call his own, and that he drops this bombshell by saying, now, I know that I could never replace your father, the man who made you, but it would mean the world to me if you could just call me Dad.
What the...
I'll admit it, I snickered a little. And then I knew he was serious because he looked at me like he was about to cry, and he didn't drop it either. I asked if he really meant it, and he got emotional and started talking about what it means to be a man. Literally my ex. Maybe cut that out.
No, I'm not cutting that out. It's staying in.
And how his purpose is to have and provide for a family, and he wants me and my siblings to be a part of that family. Like, he reiterated that he'll never replace my quote-unquote father, and this did rub me the wrong way a little bit, but he's ready to step up and be my quote-unquote dad and provide for and protect me and my siblings. And I'm just sat there thinking, dude, I'm a decade older than you and live in a separate house. I don't need providing for, and even if I did, I don't need it from a guy a third of my age who works part-time at the hardware store and is collecting manga... and is into collecting manga. No offense. If you are into that, lol. Just, I don't know. I was taken a bit aback. I was in shock and I just said, okay. And he gets emotional again, but in a happy way. Talking about how he just wants to go camping or to a baseball game. I'm not even into baseball, LMAO. And how he joined the Lions this year and how he wants to bring me into... as his boy, which just feels so surreal. Even more so as I'm a Shriner, so all this talk of service and charity isn't the brag he thinks it is. Because I'm, again, 10 years older than this guy. Well, I ended it by just saying that this has gotten a bit too weird and I was going to go home. He got very upset and left. Called my brother, and he agrees that sounds weird as fuck. Later, my mom called me, and she wasn't disappointed, but admitted that it made him very upset and depressed. I told her that if he's embarrassed, he doesn't need to be. I get he's excited about the marriage, and we can just laugh it off as a funny story. She then said that that wasn't why he was upset about it. He, and she too a little bit, is upset about the fact he poured his heart out and I rejected him. She said, yeah, it's a bit kooky, but this is how he proves himself to be a man. And I guess I was a bit angry and said something like, first off, it's not my job to certify what's between his legs. And second, this doesn't prove he's a man. It just proves he's a nut job. I apologized immediately, but she said she didn't want to hear it and hung up. She called back 10 minutes later and we apologized, and she begged me to just get along until he has some kids to call his own. I won't go into too much detail here, but she just sort of let it slip that they plan to do IVF treatment because she's not ready to give up on being a mom just yet. And while I have my own thoughts about whether or not it's a good idea, I'm not here to litigate on that. We finished up fine, and I reiterated that I support her, and she agreed that it was definitely a stressful situation, but begged me to at least think about it, which leads me to here. I did think about it over, and obviously I'm going to say no. I had a dad and he died. Rest in peace, Dad. And that's the only dad I've ever wanted and I'll ever bestow that title on. I'm not asking if someone's unreasonable or what I should do, more so what I should say. This clearly means a lot to him for some reason, and I deeply love my mom, so I want to try and minimize the damage, especially as we're still involved in each other's lives and they live behind me. How can I make it clear to them as painlessly as possible that I think this is weird and borderline offensive? I really don't want to rip the Band-Aid off because I fear what it might do to the family. There's 2 edits, but it is.
I don't understand why she means I'm not ready to give up being a mom. Bitch, you still are a mom. What do you mean?
Maybe being a mom again?
Like a baby mom?
Ugh, I don't know.
But
she's like older. Isn't that not healthy?
She's 58, right?
58. Definitely. This woman's almost 60.
That's definitely not healthy. She could like die giving birth.
Yeah, anybody can, but I think
it increases as you get older.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff increases as you get older.
I get the like dating when you're lose someone. I think that's smart to do. Like you want to like go back out and like
stay busy, and
right.
Your life didn't end because theirs did.
Right. I'm all for that, but the age gap, whatever.
I mean,
good for you. But
that age gap's a little weird. I mean, he just became legal 6 years ago.
Ew, okay, when you put it like that is a little weird. I'm not one for like big age gaps when people are older.
Say he
but
was like,
if he's
like
in his
40,
20s.
If he was 40, whatever. But he's fucking 24.
Yeah.
His frontal lobe isn't even developed yet.
He's still like a child. And my question for him is, he's like Charlie Day's character in Horrible Bosses, which is like this like wholesome, he just wants a family, whatever, and do anything to have a family. Why are you marrying a 54-year-old woman?
58, but I mean, whatever. But yeah, that is a really good point. Why is he dating her? Like, I mean, love, whatever, but...
Or like, they're gonna get married, so like, I mean, I get it, maybe he fell in love with her, but like, look at you and your ex. Like, you guys were in love, and then he wanted a family, and you said, I can't provide that, and then you guys broke it off because you wanted separate things. Like, that's just being an adult.
Yeah. So,
shouldn't she be like, maybe I'm not right for you then? Like, I already have a family.
Yeah, like, these are your kids if you want to marry me.
And they're not kids. Also, they're adults.
Well, it's her children.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So, the other thing is, like, if he loves this woman so much, he would not want her to get pregnant. That is so fucking selfish because he wants kids. He's making her put her life at risk.
And why doesn't he just adopt a child then?
Literally.
What if they just adopt a child together?
Fucking adopt.
Listen.
I don't have a motherly bone in my body unless it comes to my cats. So I don't understand why people don't adopt because it's cheaper than IVF. But like, I guess I understand you wanted your own child, but
I don't understand it. And I never will. I don't like the whole, but I'm a man, this is what I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
You weren't put on this earth to have children. I mean, if that's your life purpose and you want a child, that's great for you. I don't see you any less. But that's not the only thing. Like, you can't feel guilt for not having a child because you think you need to.
Yeah, like, not everybody, you're like, I feel like a lot of people have this, how do I explain this? Have like this timeline for their life. Yes. And it's going to go perfect. What is it about our group of friends? Like, nobody has kids. Nobody wants kids.
We surround ourselves with people that are like us.
Yeah.
Because we're narcissists.
That's why I was like, how did Donald Trump win? Oh, yeah. I surround myself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
There's people out there in the country who they just don't have two brain cells to rub together.
And listen, I even had the idea in my head. I was like, maybe one day I will want something. But having a dog saved my life. Like, Eddie gave me, like, purpose. I love my cats. I have my cat tattooed on me. Like, I love my cats more than anything. But having a dog made my life feel like I had purpose again. Because I feel like Eddie, my dog's name is Eddie, I needed to, like, actually, like, really take care of him. Mm-hmm. Or, like, he would die. Like, the cats, I feel like, are self-sufficient enough. Mm-hmm. But a dog, I feel like, is like a baby. Like you said, it's like a kid. Mm-hmm. So the thought did cross my mind, like, maybe I'll want this one day. Mm-mm. But I don't think it'll ever be my own. Like, I don't think I'll ever have my own child. Maybe I'll adopt or, like, foster later in life. But I don't think I'll ever have, like, my own child or, like, give birth to a child. Mm-hmm. So the thought is there. Like, I maybe by the time I'm 50 years old and I feel like I did all I want in my life, I will foster a child or adopt a child. But right now, if you were to ask me that, absolutely fucking not.
No, I think when I was, like, younger, I, like, thought about it, but I worked at this after-school program with children, and I was like, no, never.
I love my nieces and my niece and my nephews. Mm-hmm. I just don't really like kids in the wild. Like, if I just see a random kid, I'm like, yuck.
Or but kids screaming. Ugh.
But, like, I love children I know.
Oh, yeah, me too. Like, my nieces, they're friggin' adorable. I feel like I love my cats more than anything. They are literally my children, but I feel like I don't need purpose. Like, maybe they're, like, my reason to live. Like, they're my reason to go to work.
You don't need purpose. They are your purpose.
Yeah, so I have never really had... I love animals. Like, I feel like an animal mom. I've never felt like a human mom. I'm a Cancer, Venus, Moon, and Mars, so I do have, like, a little bit of maternal instinct in me. Like, I love helping people, but, like,
you are very motherly, like, to, like, your friends at least. Like,
yeah,
that's why I always said you're, like, my emotional support person, because, like, you'll be like, make sure you drink water, make sure, like, that's just how you are. You are motherly. But I couldn't picture you being motherly to a child, though. I could see you being motherly and nurturing to people you care about and love.
Know that okay, so I got my tubes removed because I don't want kids. And of course people are like, well, what if you change your mind? Well, I guess if I did change my mind, I can still I can do IVF or adopt. I would adopt. I would never do IVF.
I would never want to actually bear a child.
I would never have kids. Like, ugh.
I really can't say, like, in my mind, like, I am certain I don't want kids, like, I really am.
Me too.
But even up until when I was buying a house, I was like, well, what school district is it in, just in case? Like, there's always that, like, but what if?
I got my tubes removed before I bought my house, but when I was looking at a house, I was like, oh, this is another awesome thing about not wanting kids. I don't have to give a shit about what school district, like, I live in. Even, like, I remember when I was, like, younger, like, people I worked with had kids, and I was just like, oh, God, after work, you have to go take care of children. I'm like, I get to go lay on the couch with my cat.
I give the, like, mothers all the power in the world. I feel like they're, like, superheroes. People that work full-time jobs and have, like, babies and, like, because it's not, like, how it was when we were growing up. Like, but still, I feel like, especially right now, how the world is, mothers right now are, like, fucking superheroes. They deserve more recognition, and I think it's so selfish for men to be like, well, you must have a baby because that's what I'm destined to do. I don't think they realize how much that puts us women through.
I don't think a lot of them do realize. I think a lot of them don't give a fuck.
So anyways. Let's have a baby just because I want to see what it's like.
I just want something that looks like me. My legend.
Bye.
So, we went on a little bit of a tangent, but...
Sorry.
Okay. Edit 1. Showed my brother the post and he laughed so hard that he was coughing, lol. Then he said, we should call him Dr. Phil and each other Blue and Red. So swap the nicknames around that he gave him. Thoughts? Edit 2. As people were asking, he has no access to my mom's money or anything like that. She rents the house and it came pre-furnished and otherwise has no real assets. She does not make a lot of money, so there's no motive that we could think of. Some of the comments, I think he and your mother both have some serious delusions going on.
Yeah.
Daddy is young enough to still be on his parents' insurance. Oh my God, that's so true.
Not daddy. That is not daddy. That is
Someone kid. Goes, she's 58 and wants IVF. I just can't. Someone commented under that. Yeah, the dad stuff was bad enough, but the IVF revelation had me spitting my coffee. So someone's commenting she might need an egg donor and hormones as any woman on IVF would, but her womb would still work. It's riskier for her, but not impossible. Yeah, it's just fucking weird. They need therapy for sure.
Also, like, I feel like IVF isn't like it's like a privilege. You know, like a lot of people can't have kids, like they're incapable, and they use that as a way to have children because some people actually do want to bear a child. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's just a slap in the face for all these people that like can't afford IVF or like really want a child. Like, oh, I already have 3 fucking kids and I'm 58, but I'm gonna do IVF because my husband wants to. Why? I'm not ready to not be a mother. Girl, you are a mother. Just because your kids are old, doesn't mean you're not a mom still. Mm-hmm. I talk to my mom all the time.
And they haven't been dating that long. Like, it sounds like they haven't even been together for 2 years.
That he should go date someone younger who's ready to have a family. When this woman clearly already has a family and already's past that in her life.
Yeah, I mean, she should also, like... I feel like she should just be like, hey, listen, I already have children.
But I just don't think she wants to be alone.
Sucks. It's just part of life. How about going on the Golden Bachelorette? She can do that. Well, OP, I hope. Please don't ever call him daddy. I don't think he's going to.
But can you imagine? Daddy?
I hope it works out. I hope your mom's truly happy and this guy isn't like just a fucking weirdo. Also, like, okay, I'm sorry to keep going on a tangent. She's gonna die, like... I guess actually, no, she's pretty young.
She's pretty, 58's pretty young, but not to have children. I mean, by the time she's
unfair to the child, too. Like, it's not...
She's gonna be a senior citizen by the time her daughter graduates high school.
If she doesn't have a lot of money and he works part-time at a hardware store, like, how are they gonna provide for that child?
Yeah, he better get a better job before they have a fucking child. But yeah, she's going to be considered a senior citizen by the time that their child graduates high school.
I think
she'll probably be a grandma.
I think she's going to be considered a senior citizen by the time she would be giving birth.
True.
OP, good luck with that. I wish you the best.
Yeah. Wishing you the best, OP. Okay, my story is for Taryn because I know how much she loves cats. I mean, I also love cats too, but Taryn loves cats. And this one is, am I the asshole for stealing, quote unquote, stealing a stray cat? I, 25-year-old male, my husband, 25-year-old male, were in our backyard on Saturday when we saw a stray cat in the yard. We usually shoo them away because they stress out our indoor-only cat and eats birds that comes into our bird feeders. So my husband yelled, hey, shoo at the cat. Instead of running away, the cat came up running to him immediately, meowing a lot. We were like, oh, I wonder if this is a neighbor's cat or something. And then he noticed he was really skinny, definitely not neutered, and had a small injury on one foot. If he was a pet, he definitely wasn't being taken care of. We thought maybe he was a lost or escaped pet at first. So we caught him and brought him inside and set him up quarantined from our cat with a litter box and food and water. Humane Society is closed on weekends, so we planned to call them on Monday. In the meantime, we put his image up on our local Lost Pets Facebook page with our email address. Today we got an email. Here is the exact text of the email. Names have been changed. Hi, will you please let Bogo out so he can come back towards home? He is a feral cat, but he is loved in his neighborhood. He comes to my place all the time and he stays here at night and then leaves and comes back later. Laura. Laura and her sister, who we'll call Sarah, also responded to our Facebook post about a dozen times saying to let their cat go and asking if we got their email. This gave us a dilemma because, like, the cat's not her cat, right? This is a neighborhood stray she's feeding. He's not neutered. He's not getting medical care. We can't just let an unneutered, unvaccinated cat back into the streets because some people would be sad if he's not wandering around the road. There's coyotes in our neighborhood. It's cold at night. He could get hit by a car or something. We responded on the Facebook post with, hi, yes, we did get your email. In your email, you said he was a neighborhood feral and so does not have an owner or any regular medical care. His back foot is injured. He seems to have some parasites, and he's not fixed. He's a fantastic indoor cat and wonderfully suited for adoption. So we're going to take him to the Humane Society to get veterinary care, a microchip, and ideally a permanent owner. Absolute explosion. Laura and Sarah are now spamming the Facebook post, threatening to dox us and call the police on us to show up at our house if we don't let their cat go. I feel like they're probably in here right now. But it's extremely stressful and upsetting. If it was my cat, If it was their cat, I'd never dream of not returning him. But it's not. No, it says, but like, he's not. Mm-hmm. They're not taking care of him. They're changing the story now to claim he's an indoor/outdoor cat. But if that's the case, why did they email me saying he is feral? Am I the asshole for stealing the cat?
Absolutely not.
Not the asshole at all.
OP is doing every single thing right. And first of all, a feral cat's not going to come running up to you and be good indoors. Feral cats are feral. Feral cats are feral. They don't want to be around people. And OP is doing everything right, like quarantining her cat from this cat. Sounds like she's bringing it to the ASPCA, so it's going to get treated.
It's a gay couple. They're two men.
Oh, my bad. Well, no wonder they're doing the right thing.
I know.
They can only do right things. No, this is... The cat was going to die out there. Laura, whoever she is neglecting the cat. It's not her cat. She's Delulu.
She's saying it's the neighborhood cat. Like, just how he said in the post. OP said...
If it is a feral cat, because... I have one in my backyard. There's people that have like really nice one. My friend has a few of them in her yard. So people can like set up like outdoor shelters for like the wintertime for cats. And
it's super easy too. You can even get like little like totes from like Walmart and like cut a little hole in it. Like put some blankets in there. Like something.
No. Please don't put blankets in there because those can get wet and the cats can freeze to it. Only use straw because straw doesn't get wet. But you can put like, I have like insulation in mine, like that silver insulation, not like the bad breathing insulation, but yeah, so OP's doing everything right. And if this lady actually, like I'm saying with the fucking pastor or with the God man's daughter, if this lady actually cared about the cats, she would be like, oh my god, thank you for helping the cat. Like, it's not her cat. She can go ahead and call the police if she wants, but I'm 100% certain that she has nothing stating that the cat is legally hers. There's no proof. I mean, proof of my cat being legally mine or yours being legally yours would be vet bills.
I mean, even if it wasn't technically her cat and like she's just taking care of it in the neighborhood, it sounds like she's doing a really shit job at taking care of it.
Back to the shelter. So people have shelters in their backyard. They do have colonies and feral cats, but what they do is they trap those cats, get them fixed, bring them back into the environment they're used to if they're feral and they can't be indoor cats, adopted out. Then those people, like, the cats will stay in that area and they know they're going to be fed in that area, so they're not going to leave. So no more feral cats will come into that area. But this lady is just Facebook Delulu.
Well, that's why he was like saying he was clearly like not neutered.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then he obviously is saving this cat's life because he's injured, skinny, not neutered. Parasites. Like, this cat is gonna... Is there any update?
No, it was just posted.
Aww. Well, definitely not the asshole. 100% not the asshole. I would delete the post and block her.
Oh, he said something. I'm trying to find what he said. He was like, oh, here it is. We can't just let an unneutered, unvaccinated cat back out in the streets because some people would be sad if he's not wandering around the road anymore.
That's a weird reason to be sad. Usually if you like, you'd be happy.
Because they're like, that's our neighborhood cat. Bring it back. And he's like, I can't just bring it back because you're sad that you're not going to see this cat walking around.
They don't understand. I actually was kind of an asshole last night. So this lady had posted that on one of our like local town Facebook groups that her cat was hit by a car, blaming the driver, saying the driver didn't even let them know that their cat was hit and how drivers are irresponsible. And I'm like, I'm really sorry for your loss. That's horrible, but your cat should not be outside. And what did you want this person going knocking? I'm the biggest cat lover ever, but what did you want this person going knocking door to door because they hit your cat? It's probably someone that doesn't even like... People don't like cats, and people will try to hit them on purpose.
Red flag.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But people will, like, psychopaths try to hit them on purpose. Like, Keep your fucking cats inside.
Unless you live like in the fucking country, in the middle where the houses between each other are like miles between, and there's no cars going down the road. Yeah, but keep your cats indoors.
You have to worry about like
coyotes and all that. Yes.
And there are like barn cats, you know, but those, it's like a chicken coop. All the cats come back in at night and they're safe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't leave your cat outdoors overnight by any means, no matter what.
There's a colony near me, and my friend and I trapped a couple. She actually has 2 of the cats from the colony, but I just have no time to trap. And the resources are just so, I don't know, just get your fucking cat fixed, especially if you're going to let it outdoors.
Stop breeding animals, too.
Yeah, and if you have a litter, if you have a litter of kittens and you're like, I'm going to adopt all these kittens out, get them fixed before adopting them out, because you can't trust that other person to get them fixed. And I don't want to hear, oh, it's too expensive. Well, you should have got your mama cat fixed first. Now this is your responsibility. I know nobody's going to listen to me, but... there's low cost, especially for low income. There's like, you can get your cat spayed for like $40.
Oh, like $50, yeah. Friends of family, someone does that. But when I adopted Gacy, he was $100, and he was a kitten. He was a baby kitten. I adopted him for $100, and the $100 went towards, his neutering, and I literally got the $100 back once I neutered him. So Gacy was free, but really cool. I had to spend, once I showed proof to the place I adopted him from that I neutered him, I got the $100 back.
I wouldn't even trust people to do that, honestly.
No, I wouldn't either. Which is so fucked up. Like, stop. It sucks that we have to worry about that, like, with animals. So you have to, people that, like, put animals up for adoption have to worry about them breeding them. Like, that would never cross my mind at all. If I was to find, like, a box of puppies, I wouldn't be like, I'm going to sell these and breed them. Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of psychopath are you to be like, let's make these animals fuck so we can make a ton of money?
Oh, we live in upstate New York. We're not going to dox ourselves, but there is a Bengal breeder around here, and ones that she doesn't think are going to sell, she just lets outside.
What?
Yes. My friend found a Bengal. He has, like, kidney disease and was, like, maybe 2 years ago in October she found him, and he was not going to last much longer. He was covered in fleas, really skinny. Baby. And she saved him, and he sleeps on his little warm perch. Pete, you are not the asshole whatsoever. You're doing the right thing, and I commend you for that.
I'm sorry, I'm not over that. She just lets him outside. That's like puppy mills, like when they don't think that the puppies that no longer are sold, they'll just kill them.
There's, I was volunteering with a rescue for a while. I'm taking a break just because life is so hectic right now. But there's another town out more towards, like, Trump country from where we live. Everything to the left. And there's a lot of feral cats and kittens that are adoptable. I guess I shouldn't say they're feral, but there are some feral ones. And this guy, if they go on his property, he will just shoot them. Yeah. It's hard. Like, this is why get your pets fixed, please.
I'm going to say, do your research, too, when you are looking into getting pets, because I adopted Eddie not realizing he was from a puppy mill. Mm-hmm. I found him online, and I was like, oh, my God, he's so cute. We went there, straight up puppy mill. It was the Amish.
How much did he cost?
Like $600 for a puppy. He's like a bulldog mix. I didn't realize it was a fucking puppy mill. We pulled up, and it was like this unfinished house, and it was all Amish people. I was like, this is a puppy mill. I just know it is. Because Amish apparently are really not good to animals. Like, they just see them as, like, products. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, this is for sure a puppy mill. As soon as we walked in, they had all these little puppies running towards us. I was like, oh, I felt sick to my stomach.
Like, leaving them all there. Mm-hmm. So I'll look for a couple.
So do your research to make sure that you're not getting from a puppy
do
mill.
Your research, and in the show notes, I'll link maybe there's like resources to get your pets fixed is what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to think of ones that are like not directly in my area, because I hope people from all over the globe are listening.
Yeah, and don't support breeders. I know Bengals are so fancy and pretty, and I know rag dolls are so beautiful, and I know all these puppies are so adorable. Well, do not buy from breeders. You are part of the problem.
You do not have to buy from a breeder. I wanted a Siamese so bad, and I was able to go on Pet Finder. Mm-hmm. I got my Siamese from Mississippi. There's a lot of Siamese and Bengals strays in the South, and they brought her up to an hour and a half from where I live. We went and picked her up. Also, Dylan, one of my best friends, I saw a Facebook post on Louie's birthday this year, and this lady was feeding a Siamese, like a scrawny, really skinny, not doing well Siamese, still intact, outside her apartment complex, and she was able to trap him, and Dylan adopted him, took him in for fostering, ended up keeping him, and he looks like a completely different cat now. And that's a Siamese cat that somebody probably just got sick of and kicked out. So
you can have, like, I know, like, when I was a kid, I, like, wanted these, like, specific dogs. Of, like, when I get older, I'm going to get these dogs. But you can find those dogs or those cats, adopting them. You just have to, like, keep up with it. Like, check Pet Finder. You don't need to buy from a fucking breeder. I promise you will find your dream animal.
The thing with dogs is people want to buy from breeders because they're like, oh, well, they're going to be around my kid. And it's like, well, I don't know. I can't speak on dogs because I don't know anything about dogs. I don't want
But also, I understand. That's the thing. I get they're going to be around your kid. Then adopt a puppy and raise it to be around your kid. I see them all the time on Pet Finder. There's 6-month-old puppies on Pet Finder all the time because people in the South, they come from, like, Texas. And they drive them up here. So you can get a pup. There's no fucking excuse.
There really isn't.
You don't need to fucking window shop for animals. Like,
stop supporting breeders.
Stop buying from fucking breeders. Don't be like me who didn't do fucking research and bought from a fucking puppy mill. Because I feel guilt about it every fucking day of my life.
All right. OP, you're not the asshole, but we're going to move on to the next story. Because we could go on about this forever. Yeah, this is the last story for this episode. So this story I found, and this is definitely something Amanda would describe as a big juicer. It is quite crazy. It's coming from Am I the Asshole? It was posted 2 days ago, and it's from Dependent Student 472. It's titled, AITA for telling my sister and boyfriend the inappropriate thing my brother-in-law said to me. I, 25 female, live with my sister, Emily, 25 female. Just kidding, she's 27 female. Her husband, Connor.
Oh, that's a big fuck up.
Her husband, Connor, 25 male, and their son, Owen, 1 month. Due to a variety of reasons, none of which are relevant to the story. Okay. The other night, 11/13/24, my boyfriend, Marcus, 26 male, came over to hang out, and some athletic snuggling ensued.
Oh, I like that.
After Marcus had left, I had heard the baby crying and ended up in the hallway with Emily and Connor after Owen was put back to sleep. Emily asked if Marcus was still in my room. I told her no, he had left. Connor then says, "Thank God, I could hear you guys downstairs with my noise-canceling headphones on." I was reasonably embarrassed that he had heard anything, and even more so mortified that he had said that in front of my sister. I apologized and hoped it was the end of that. As Emily goes back downstairs, Connor turns to me and said, "Don't be sorry. Now I have something to think about the next time I masturbate."
Oh. I just had a feeling it was going to get fucking weird.
I tried to brush it off, as Connor often makes inappropriate remarks, and I have always just ignored him in the past.
Brush it off?
I jokingly said, "Don't you mean you'll be thinking about Marcus?" He responded, "No, Marcus is too quiet. I didn't hear him. I only heard you."
Oh my God. I would throw up on the spot. Like, just vomit on his feet.
Yeah. Connor then goes back downstairs and I retreat to my bedroom. I couldn't stop thinking about what he'd said and how uncomfortable it made me, so I texted Marcus to ask him if I was overreacting. Girl, ladies, we are never overreacting.
We're not overreacting, ever.
When it comes to men. Don't let any man make you feel like you're overreacting. Maybe your true girlfriends will let you know. Not frenemies, but real girls. But most of the time, you're not overacting. Anyways.
It's true.
Marcus was absolutely furious. He wanted me to tell Emily, but I was hesitant as I didn't want to make Emily and Connor fight. I told him I would talk to her in the morning, hoping it would blow over and Marcus would forget about it, but he texted Emily.
Good for him.
Yeah. Emily then came into my room and I started crying, saying that Connor's comment had bothered me, but I didn't want to make a big deal about it. Emily said that she would talk to Connor about it in the morning and make him apologize. I told her it didn't matter and it wasn't a big deal, but she insisted that he needed to apologize for it, especially since he has made inappropriate comments before and knows that they make me uncomfortable. Today, 11:15:24, I heard Connor and Emily arguing downstairs, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. Eventually, Connor storms upstairs and I hear him say, "No, I'm not going to. It's not my fault that none of you can take a fucking joke." I know they were talking about Wednesday night. I knew Emily would be upset, but I didn't know Marcus would be so angry. And I didn't know it would cause a giant fight between Emily and Connor. Am I the asshole for saying anything at all?
Girl, you are not the asshole.
No, Connor is a pig and your sister should leave him.
She should. I would hope that my sister, if I was to say, listen, your husband came up to me and said he's gonna masturbate to me, that she would be like, like, girl.
Hopefully alarms would start going off.
That's disgusting. Like I said, I would throw up at his fucking feet.
Connor, you're a
I'm
pig.
surprised. I don't know. I'm just a different person. If someone just said to me, I'd be like,
excuse me? I would make a scene on the spot.
same. I would literally slap them across the face, I think.
Or like if you did it all the time, I would probably end up recording it eventually.
No, I would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to right now, you fucking disgusting man?
I don't know what the top comment is, but I'm gonna assume it's a comment that's at the top.
Maybe.
The one with 11K upvotes.
Oh, maybe that's it.
The top comment said, "He's mad you didn't flirt back. He's mad he didn't get caught. Not the asshole, but your sister deserves a husband that doesn't want to fuck her sister. Time to move out, question mark?" OP said, "Currently in the process of house hunting. I wanted to move as soon as he moved in, but money is always the issue."
Yeah, always is.
Then someone commented, "Maybe get a bedroom lock or security camera and lock on the bathroom door. Check for missing panties of yours and don't be alone with him. It sounds like he has a history of being creepy to you. Lots of other weird things he could be doing without you knowing." Eesh. Someone said, "Get a white noise machine." Okay, there is an edit. "I hear them having sex regularly. It seems like people think that the issue is we were hurt, but the issue is what he said about it. They made a baby in this house. Marcus and I hear them all the time when we're just hanging out here. It's also our house that me and my sister own together along with our parents. I'm not staying at their house. It's just as much my house as it is theirs."
True.
That's weird that their parents live there and he's still saying that shit.
Yeah, is this like their parents' house and you're just saying, it's our house? Because that's how I feel about my mom's house. I'm like, that's my house. If anything, he's the fucking outsider in the situation. She shouldn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, true. He 100% wasn't joking. He's already rubbed out a few with your moans and sex sounds in his head.
Ew.
He's a sick individual, so good for you. I wish there was like an update. Let me go to OP's account and see if there's an update.
That's so like violating.
I'm looking at some of the comments from OP. I mean, good for him for doing that, but this is insane. I wish there was more of an update, and I hope the sister leaves his ass. I know me and Amanda are always like, break up with them.
Leave him.
I know it's definitely going to be complicated with a baby, but I would not want him under the same roof as me, making those creepy comments.
To your own sister.
Yeah.
Like, not even to like
And good for her boyfriend
random
for
women.
doing what he's supposed to do and sticking up for her.
To his own, to
His sister-in-law.
sister-in-law.
That's disgusting. Yeah, OP, not the ass.
That's gross. I hate men.
Me too.
Only some. I mean, I only like some.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening to episode 6. We're going to go get some Chipotle. Don't forget to give us a follow and a 5-star review. I'm shy. I feel weird saying that.
I'm shy.
But thank you for listening. We love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Have a good week. Bye.